Welcome back, everybody, to the daily show where I'll be doing technical analysis on big mega cap stocks. So, before we get started, please hit the like button, and that is greatly appreciated, guys. And if you're new here, definitely consider subscribing. Now, if you want to support the channel, go above and beyond, get my daily trade ideas, swing trade ideas, live trading, and I'll share a trade idea in just a little bit here. Definitely check out my link down in the description for Patreon. So Google beats earnings and the stock is flat to slightly down. Tesla, you can see misses on revenue, drops for the second straight quarter. So that was expected. That I even said that in my video that Tesla, I don't think they're gonna come out strong from this earnings unless this man lying about earnings, like we're seeing on some of the other stocks where CEO will just pump up the stock. Just gathering a bunch of lies. Now, despite all that today, that Japan trade deal, we took a trade on one of those biggest Japanese automaker, and that thing was up massively. I'll share that trade idea a little bit later, but let's get into the market. Well, Dow was up 1.14%, Nasdaq 0.61%, S&P 0.78%, and Russell going up the most 1.53%. 11 sectors pretty much all in the green. Healthcare led the way on top, utilities on bottom. Stock market map, Nvidia once again shining in the green. We got Meta going up over 1%. Then we got Microsoft going flat, Apple flat, Amazon flat, Tesla flat. Then we got Google also going flat for the day. And now let's get right into Tesla stock. On Apple stock, it's absolutely flat on the day. So I know it's not easy to hold Apple right now if you bought shares or even calls, because things are just not moving in the right direction. It's going up, but really, really slow. But this video, I'm going to run it again. People are going to chase Apple at 250, 260. People will ask that, hey, do you think Apple is a good buy right now? And I'm telling you guys, it's gonna get there. It's just a matter of time. And the longer this thing, consolidates right here, the bigger explosion will happen on Apple stock. Right now, we do have a bull trend. Things are holding up nicely today. We got a red body hammer type candle today from these lows. The 5-day moving average did hold up and back over to 14. So earnings, that is next week, I think Thursday. So before that, watch out. If Apple can actually hold over to 14, we can see a move still before earnings up to 221. That is the upside target before earnings. If this thing can hold above 214, to the downside below 214, 212, then we have support at 210 and then 207. And here's my X account, and if you guys are on there, definitely give me a follow. Now, quickly, I want to share this trade on TM. And you can see just about a couple weeks back, it was trading around 168, 169. That's where I took these shares. 300 shares I bought right here. It was around 10:42 a.m. on June 17th. And fast forward, the Japan deal, the news came out yesterday, and right after closing, the stock was up nearly 14%. And this morning, just after 7 a.m., it was up over $21 per share. This was a fantastic trade idea. Now you can see it was only 300 shares. Imagine you bought 500, maybe 1,000 shares, how much money you could have made. And this is not some cheap junk garbage company. This is Toyota, guys. It's not going to go anywhere. This is one of the best company out there. Not just always buying Tesla, but people always think like Tesla, Nvidia, that's what I'm going to get. Toyota Motor, who cares? I mean, a lot of people don't seem like they're interested on things like TM right here. So this was a really good trade idea, just holding few months, and if you count all that, $21 per share up from 300 shares, that is a lot of money, right? So if you want these types of trade ideas, safer swing trade ideas like this one, definitely check out my link down in the description for Patreon, guys. So Google stock just earnings came out, and I'm not gonna go too much into details. They got a beat on earnings, but the stock is slightly down. Also, it's a bit overbought, so I can see why we had the run up already, and now the stock is just pretty much flat, down 1%, which is absolutely nothing. So Google tomorrow, you see Google down here at 89 so far. That's where it's trading. As long as it can hold at 89, it can push higher. If it does not hold here, then it can come down to 185, and that will be the next level to watch on Google stock. If this thing continues to run tomorrow, then watch out for a move possibly in the near future up to 200, and then this gap at 204 on Google. On AMD, it's up 2.54%. Now, this is where I made the video on AMD. Yesterday, I did not cover these names. Yesterday, what happened? AMD came down to where? Well, pretty much really close to 148, guys. And if you took these calls right here, that retest, we did not close the gap. That is even more bullish because, bears, they were just trying to bring this thing down to the gap, but, it would not even close the gap because bulls are really strong on AMD. And this thing pushed back up once again with massive hammer candle yesterday. And look at the follow through today, guys. Up another $4. So, these setups, like this one right here, you're not going to find too often. Nice retest and then a big bounce back up to the upside. So watch out, if this thing gets over that 162, it can go up to 165 to even 174. To the downside, still a strong support will be at 150, 147.58 gap fill reversal. And only if this thing falls below that, watch out for a move down to 140.65 to 138. On Meta, it's up 1.24%. So Meta cannot actually break these moving averages right here, which is at 718 right here, 13 and the 20 days. So if this thing can get over 718, it can easily push back up to previous all-time highs, or at least these 725 to maybe even that previous all-time high right here, which was at 739. Now, to the downside, if this thing cannot get over 718, key level to watch right here, 707, 700, 696, and then 682 on Meta. Also, we do have earnings coming up on Meta. Just a reminder next week. On Microsoft, it's up 0.12%, so absolutely flat day. And this is where I played some calls today, and the stop loss was below 500. If this thing were to break below 500, and why? Because that is a big level here on Microsoft. You can see the 20-day pretty much right there above 500 now. It came down to 500.70, and the support was there. Rejection, rejection, and now the 20-day and this rejection now acting as a support. Perfect buying opportunity, and the weekly calls went up 65% on Microsoft. It was fantastic. And now this thing is up even more right after closing. So watch out. 500 can hold right here on Microsoft. We might see a push up to this high right here, 508 to 510, and then previous all-time high will be retested at 514.64. Only below 500, there will be significant downside, possibly down to 488 to even 481. So Netflix again another down day, down 1%, and it's just matter of time. It's happening because it was up. The bull flag did not play out here. We had that initial break, and then because of earnings, this thing did not get that breakthrough over that bull flag. So now it's pulling back, and you can see, I mean, this thing is getting a bit oversold. Now the next big level, we're almost there today. 1163 came down to 1173 and still there. So we can possibly retest that tomorrow, and that could be somewhat of a dip buying opportunity as long as you have a game plan and a stop loss here, a very tight stop loss. You can play it back up to 1200, possibly even up to the 5-day moving average 1216, and that is it for now on Netflix until this thing finds a strong ground. And I think, even if this thing pulls back a little bit more down here, that would be a better opportunity than buying here and going long, because yes, it's down from all-time highs, but this is nothing significant where I would say, oh, this is a great opportunity on Netflix. So if you played Tesla calls or puts for earnings, obviously you're not gonna get paid. This thing is absolutely flat. And I think it's all priced in, and that's why you guys saw Tesla just not really going anywhere. We got over 330 and still holding at 330. So we'll see how that plays out tomorrow. If this thing cannot hold over 330, there might be a pullback down to 320, 316, down to even 300 with some. I don't like the earnings. It's not something that I would look at it and say, oh, this is great. Let's just buy Tesla. So we'll see how that plays out tomorrow. But so far, it's absolutely flat. If it opens here, then watch for that. These levels here: 330, 320, and 316 down to 300. These are levels of support to watch. To the upside, 330 holds, can push up to 340. That's where upper Bollinger Band is sitting. And over that, we might see a short squeeze up to these highs right here, 362. On Amazon stock, it's at 0.36%. So Amazon, they also have earnings next week, and that's gonna be a big week next week. It's gonna be jam packed because all these earnings and I mean these things can move the market, guys. Huge, huge way. They can put an impact in this market, especially when the market is sitting at a brand new all-time high today. So here on Amazon, 330 clears. I mean 230. Amazon can clear 230. That's gonna move up to this gap, and I think it's gonna go there once we clear 230. Down below, we have support at 227, 223, 20-day moving average, and these highs right here. I would say 224 to 223-ish, and the 20-day will move up. So yeah, right here. These rejection areas now can act as a support. Underneath that, you're going to see a flush down to 216 on Amazon. All right, so Nvidia is still the king, and right now I think it's up another 1% in top of 2.25% that was up today. So Nvidia is still going up strong, and you can see yesterday we saw that initial pullback. And if you go back and watch my video from not last night because I did not, cover these names last night. As a matter of fact, there was no video from my channel last night. Day before that Nvidia can pull back here, and I think 165 very possible. And if you're playing puts, this is where I would take profit. And boy, oh boy, I had some puts that were actually 165 exactly here, and this thing paid not a lot of money for just $6-7 pullback, but it was fantastic getting that pullback and getting out completely. And look at the reversal, and that's why I got out. You see this trend line, we almost got to this trend line, and the gap fill reversal did act as a support, and things went higher from there. So now the question here on Nvidia, is it going to hold up over 170? If it does, then it can push up to this 174 range, and from there it can go to 180. Now, if this is just a fake pump and we come right back and cannot hold 165 and breaks this trend line here, then watch out for a move down to 160 and maybe even down to previous all-time highs right here where we got multiple rejection. That's going to be at 153. But so far, Nvidia holding up strong, and that's why you're not seeing any significant pullback here in this market, guys. And that's all I have for you guys in this video, and I'll definitely keep you guys updated. Thank you so much for watching.